Most people think of Helen Mirren as royalty, not just because she's played queen so often, but because of the way she holds herself, with power, class, and grace. But what many fans don't know is that before she became one of the most respected actresses in Hollywood, she took on some seriously bold roles that got her into controversial territory. We're talking about films that were banned, censored, or sparked outrage. And through it all, Helen Mirren never backed down. Back in 1969, Helen starred in a film called Age of Consent. She was just 24 and already showing signs that she wasn't going to play it safe. In the movie, she plays Cora, a young woman who becomes a painter's muse. It could have been another film that used her for eye candy, but Helen made sure Cora had a voice and a purpose. She brought a quiet strength to the character, and even though the movie stirred some criticism for its bold themes and nudity, it proved that Helen was willing to take risks to tell meaningful stories. Just a few years later, in 1972, she starred in Savage Messiah. This wasn't a sweet romance, it was wild, raw, and full of emotion. Helen played Gabby, the partner of a passionate, struggling sculptor. The film was intense, messy, and full of life. Helen didn't just act in it, she lit up the screen with a powerful energy that couldn't be ignored. Critics may have had mixed opinions, but one thing was clear: she wasn't there to be a background decoration. She brought a wild kind of honesty to the screen, something that made people pay attention. Then came Oh Lucky Man in 1973, a strange and surreal movie that poked fun at British society. Helen's role wasn't the biggest in the film, but even in short appearances, she made an impact. She played Patricia, a mysterious woman who comes in and out of the main character's life. The whole movie was full of dark humor and weird twists, and Helen managed to be both beautiful and unsettling at the same time. It was one of those performances that stays with you, even if you can't explain why. But the real shocker came in 1979 with Caligula. This film was supposed to be a historical epic, but what happened behind the scenes turned it into something else entirely. Without telling the cast, the producer added graphic scenes after filming. The result? A film that was banned in several countries and caused a media storm. Most actors would have wanted to run away from it, but not Helen. She owned her role as Cazonia and still gave a strong performance, even when the rest of the movie fell apart. Instead of getting caught in the scandal, she walked away with her reputation untouched. That's the kind of confidence most actors only dream of. In 1980, she took on another risky role in Hussy, playing a nightclub hostess involved in a dangerous love story. This wasn't a glamorous role, it was dark and messy, but Helen brought a sharpness to it. Her character was both tough and vulnerable, and you couldn't look away. The film wasn't a big hit, but her performance showed once again that she didn't need flashy scripts or blockbuster budgets to shine. And then there was The Cook, the thief, his wife and her lover in 1989. This film was a mix of beautiful visuals and brutal scenes. Helen played the wife of a violent gangster, stuck in a world full of cruelty and control. But she wasn't helpless. Far from it. Her quiet rebellion, her strength behind the silence, made her character one of the most powerful in the whole film. It was a risky movie that got censored in several places, but Helen stood out as the soul of the story. These weren't just early roles in her career. These were choices that shaped who she would become. Helen Mirren wasn't chasing fame, she was chasing truth. She took roles that scared other people off. She didn't mind being controversial. She wanted to show what it meant to be human, with all the flaws, passion, and chaos that came with it. Today, when people talk about her as a dame or an Oscar-winning actress, they often forget the fire. That got her there. That fearless attitude, that need to challenge herself and push limits was always part of her story. And the best part? It still is. Helen Mirren didn't become an icon by playing it safe. She got there by breaking the rules and never apologizing for it. If you found this story as surprising as it was inspiring, don't forget to hit that button, share your thoughts in the comments, and check out more stories about the faces behind the fame. There's always more than meets the eye.